Hello friends and welcome to My Hobby Home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to see what I have going on. Today I will be working, I know you can see all of this, but I'm going to be working the Fat Quarter Shop's Sew Sampler block of the month, which is Pieceful Baskets. We're doing block number 5. It is called Cat's Cradle. I have my tray of fabrics all ready, all cut, all labeled. I'm just going to lay that up here so I can keep it close to me. Y'all may have noticed my machine has moved over just a little bit more. I'm trying to give myself more room over here in case I need to trim or anything, that I can stay talking to y'all instead of turning around behind you here. So we are going to just get right on into it and chit-chat while we're doing it. So I have already done all of my diagonal lines. This is what I use. I use a trim set. I don't even know if you can see this. You can't really see it, but this comes in a set of 3. I have the link down in my description if you'd like to check it out. It's just, I'm trying to think. It's by OmniGrid. It's 3 of them. They're different sizes. I'll pull all 3 of them out right here. They actually stay pretty close to my machine. You can't really see those, but you can see right there. You have a, let's see, 12-inch, a 6-inch, and a 4-inch. I use my 12-inch the most because it's large enough that if I have a 6-inch block, I can cut all the way across if I need to do a diagonal. So I already have, like I said, I already have all of my diagonals done. So I am just pulling my fabrics that I need here. And I'm just, see, I clip my alphabetties on with my little Wonder Clips. And I have to make sure I'm doing this right because I have 2 of these and 1 of each of these, and I need to do 1 of each. So we're going to go on and just get started. We're going to sew 1/4 inch away from the center line on the back of these 2 squares. And what I'm going to do is just go on and get these both matched up, and I'm going to sew them both at the same time so it'll be a little bit quicker. I tried to be a little bit prepared today. I may not be, who knows. I've just got my fabrics cut, labeled, and laid out, and I do have the diagonal lines on them, so they're not laid out by step of the pattern or anything. I'm just coming in and sewing with you guys. So if you're doing the Pieceful basket, there are a lot of half square triangles. So you will definitely get your practice in on half square triangles. We're just going to keep these going here, try to get these done because we're making 1 of each of these, but when we cut it, it's going to be 2. And I know the next step in this pattern kind of confused me because it didn't tell really what pieces to sew to what, but it's got pictures in it, and it's hard for me to convert from words to pictures and back and forth, but I think I'll be okay. So what I have to do is trim. Yes, I just trim across the center here, and we will have our 2 half square triangles. I'll just lay those over there to be pressed. Now the next thing that we're doing is going to be a half hourglass unit. So this is the one that kind of confused me a little bit. We're only making 1. So we have our, what I have to do is sew. We got our long edge and our long edge. So I have to sew these 2 together like this. Now, in the pressing instructions, it says everything is to be pressed open. I do not press open. I press to the dark just to make life simpler and easier. So far, I have not noticed it really making a difference. Okay, so that's the first one. And the second one, we're going to have the white and then the blue. But that's just how I press. I like to do it to the dark, so it's not, you can't see it behind the lighter color fabric. Now, I am going to have to press these two because I have to attach this piece to the two. Okay, so now I have these pressed. What I'm going to do is add my triangle to the bottom of them. And they say pay attention to the direction of your fabric placement, because one goes one way and one goes the other direction. I don't figure that would be too hard to figure out, because you only have two triangles and you have two, what do they call it, half hourglass blocks. So I think it would kind of be hard to mess that up. Guys, I want to tell y'all, I did go to Stitched in Faith, my local quilt shop, this morning. And I can go on and share the news because they already shared it on Facebook. But they have a new owner now. Miss Dee Dee has decided it is time for her and Mr. Larry to get out on the lake and retire. And it is well deserved. She deserves it so much. And Miss Ava is now the owner, which is so exciting. I'm so excited for Ava. So Ava, if you see this, I am so excited for you. I know you'll be graduating pretty soon with your business degree, I believe is what I saw. And you have a passion for quilting. And honey, I saw that quilt that was on the long arm yesterday. And y'all, I'm going to put a picture up right here of her quilt that was on the long arm. Oh my goodness. Absolutely fabulous. Beautiful quilt. But I am so excited for you. And I know your mama's excited. I'm going to have to go see her. So, and y'all, we live in a kind of small community. My children's dad actually went to school with Ava's mama. But Ava's mama's been my dental hygienist for years. So, I know she's so excited for you too. I think everybody this morning that I saw in the shop was just completely excited for you. And thank you for cutting all that fabric out for me. Y'all, I'm going to have a little shopping haul to show y'all in a little. But, yeah, it's some cute fabric. Getting ready for another sew along. So, I am going to go ahead and press this so I can make sure I'm on the good right now. So one moment. Okay, so now I have these done, and yes, they came out right. But this morning in the quilt shop, let me just tell y'all this. There was a full house in there today. I saw Miss Dee Dee, I saw Miss Sheila, I saw Miss Ava, and there was another lady in there, and I cannot remember her name. I'll get it down. I will get it down pat. But they were all trying to help me because I was like, this quilt that I'm going to be joining a sew along on takes like 16 fat eighths of a low volume in a red, and 16 fat eighths of a background in a red, and then 16 and then 14 of a background in a red, and then 11 fat eighths of like a low volume in a blue. And then, y'all, it took so much fabric. I got a whole bag over here that I'm going to show y'all in a haul, but I've got more to add. I've got more in this haul because I have more than one store that I've gone to today. But so what I'm doing here now is telling me just to start assembling, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out my pieces here that I already have put together and try to get them in order correctly. I could get them in any kind of order, but correctly is the key word. We got to get them in there correctly. But I'm going to continue the info on the quilt shop. They are still online. They do still have a Facebook group. You can still order online. Just bear with them as they are in the process of Miss Dee Dee. Miss Dee Dee had told me I was actually dropping off my Silverstone. And, y'all, I'm sorry I did not take a picture of it before I dropped it off. I am so sorry. I should have, but I completely blanked because this morning after I pressed it and checked it and all that, I just completely forgot, which is bad. It's bad, and I know. And it's probably, Miss Dee Dee had told me, she's like, now, you know, she's moving her long arm machine out. I think she said tomorrow, and they're going to be gone like next week. And then Ava's going to be moving her long arm in. So I told her, I'm like, you know, even if it's 4 to 6 weeks, it's not a big deal. I'm not in a rush. I'm never in a rush. I was thinking, I'm looking at it like, what happened? I was thinking I did 3, but I only did 2. See, I got ahead of myself there. So I am going, because that last one, it has a longer piece to it. And I will let y'all know, on these half square triangles, I know a lot of people, they're like, I can't ever get them to come out right. My corners aren't right. Well, I'm going to put a plug in here for a shop. I don't know how big or little they are. I see her a lot of time on lives, Fallon with So Let's Be Quilty, I think. I can't remember. There's 2 of them that the names are so close together, I always forget. But she's got these trim locks, y'all. Yeah, put it against that black background. You can see that real good. These trim locks, you can get them in sets of 3, and they're like either whole sizes or half sizes. Y'all, I'm fixing to use a word that's going to date me, but they are the bomb diggity. I'm just saying. They help your points to come out right, because I'm going to show you. It has the lines. It's not a ruler. It is a template. But you know what size it is. I don't write it on here because I show them to y'all so frequently. And a lot of times, like this is a paid for pattern. I can't show you the measurements. But like this right here, you have your lines going both ways. Just line these up on your seam. And y'all, it works perfect. My corners, and I mean, I'm only a year and not even a year and a half in quilter here. And my points, they're not on point all the time. Sometimes, you know, there's a miscut on something and it makes my corner off. That happens. That is sewing, quilting, whatever you're doing, that happens. Don't beat yourself up over it. My favorite saying is give yourself grace. Imperfectly imperfect. That helps you get it very close, if not completely on point. So I have those two done. Now I've got to do my third row. I know I keep jumping from what I'm sewing to about the quilt shop. We're just so excited. I'm extremely excited for Ava. She is young. She's got a cute little old baby boy, and so she's very young, has a young family also, and it's just so exciting to have a younger generation with the passion for sewing and quilting like that, because, I mean, here I am, 52 years old. I just started quilting last year. I mean, I was 51 and started quilting. But, you know, I mean, that just goes to show that, you know, we've got to get the younger generation in this. Okay, so now what we are doing is assembling our block here. I'm grabbing pins, and I keep grabbing the wrong ones. I'm putting my pins on the end here of my little, I'll show this to y'all. Look, this is my little Dritz caddy. It's got magnetic ends, and I put my pins on there. If you're interested in that, I have a link down in the description for it. You could go check it out. If you're able to find any of these items at your local quilt shop, please shop local first. The links are strictly for you to be able to go and look at it, to see if this is maybe something you would like to purchase. That is an Amazon link. I am an Amazon affiliate, and if you purchase, I do receive a small commission, but it costs you nothing extra if you do purchase it through Amazon. But I do request shop local first. Shop your small quilt shops first. But I have seen some of these things on Amazon are actually quilt shops that have them out there. Because if you go and you check out who the seller is, sometimes it is a small little quilt shop. And yes, I pin everything. I mark everything. And I'll tell you why. My grandmother probably sewed. My grandmother was 91 when she passed. I bet she sewed at least 80 of them 90 years. And she still pinned her stuff. Not that some people can't do this. It just helps it be more accurate, holds it together more. And so I'm like, if my grandma did it, I can do it. Because my grandmother was way better a seamstress than I am. Or a sewist or whatever. I saw that in one of my groups. Somebody was having a discussion. I'm going to call it a discussion about what people that sew are called. Because somebody had said a sewer. Like S-E-W-E-R. It looked like sewer. But, you know, I'm just a person that likes to sew. I sew, I craft, I whatever. I don't care what you call me. A creative mind. That's what you can call me. And yeah, this is Friday morning when I'm sewing this for you guys. Y'all will see it this evening. And I have a kitty cat that wants outside right now. Hi. It's my little one. It's not one that normally comes. Come on. He don't normally jump up on the chair with me. It's my little one. He's my little yellow tabby rescue kitty cat. He's such a sweet little old baby. He's got such a mellow disposition until he goes outside and there's another cat out there that's not supposed to be here. And then he protects his home. He turns into a meanie. But I'm happy he does that. All my male cats do that. Well, actually, my female cats do it too. We have a gray stray cat outside that is mean to my sister's two kittens. My sister has two kittens, Midnight and Smokey. I think one's black and one's gray. I'm going to let him out real quick and I will be right back. Okay. So my kitty just wanted water is all he wanted. So now I am putting on my sashing strip or whatever it's going to be called. And I only need one of them right now. Try to make sure all my fabrics are there. Let's see. We are making sure we do this on the right side. But yeah, my Silverstone is at the long arm. And like I told them, no rush. You know, I told y'all what's happening. But I am not in a rush. So if that was not put on the paperwork, I will just let you know. Miss Sheila, if we didn't put that on there, there's no rush. You can put that on that paper if you want to. No rush. So, I mean, if somebody needs their quilt before, you know, it gets to them, you can always move mine down some and move them up some. It's okay. Because I know some people may need their quilts for certain things, but I don't. Mine's just a quilt. Now, that Silverstone is a free pattern. It is a Robert Kaufman pattern. You can go to robertkaufman.com or Robert Kaufman Fabrics or something like that. And just look up Silverstone. I think it's even under a Fat Quarter Shop, but you can find it at Silverstone. It is a free pattern. Okay, guys, I'm going to press this real quick so I can make sure when I attach the next strip on this side, or this side right here, that it will be flat. And I'm not trying to press in craziness. So far, this is what our block is looking like. And guys, I'm going to let you know, if you keep seeing me check my watch here, it is because I have a Zoom meeting today and I can't miss it because it's only me and the other person. So I can't miss it. I have to make sure I am on time. But I have to pay attention to the time so I don't miss it, because it is after lunch when I'm doing this. I know I'm cutting it close, aren't I? This is a situation where I pin the strip on the end and then I pinned it again somewhere near the middle and I pinned it on the end. Well, I pinned it on both ends and then I pinned near the middle. Because my square is a little bit bigger than my strip was long. But it matched perfect. Because I pinned it perfect. Made it stretch perfectly. So far, this is what our block is looking like. Yeah, it's exciting. And it's called Cat's Cradle. And I've seen other things done in Cat's Cradle and love them. I see something right here. This looks like my point isn't perfect. I know. I told y'all it helps you make your points come out perfect, but there's always something, you know, that can happen. Okay, so now we're on to our next step where we are making, looks like some little half square triangles. And it looks like we're not going to use this piece here. I think I have several pieces like that we won't be using. So once I have finished this quilt, whatever pieces I have like that I'm not going to use, I may make a pillow or something out of them. Who knows? We're only making one of these, but once we cut it, it'll be 2 half square triangles. So now I have my 2 little bitty half square triangles done. So now we're assembling more of our square unit. I had it laying over here where I had pressed it really good. I don't think I need that quite yet. I need to get... So I will take, it's hard for me to tell which side, and I say that every time, because I can't tell which side is right and which side is wrong. You know what I think I'm going to do instead of attaching this one to the long one first? I think I'm going to attach these two together first. A lot easier to handle. And then we'll attach to that long one there. But I hope you guys have been having a fabulous week. Been getting some things done. I've been watching Tammy when I could catch her lives. Y'all, remember, I will be doing a sew along with her also. It is going to be very fun. But right now we are working on the Fat Quarter Shop Sew Sampler Block of the Month. It's block number 5, I believe. Yes, the Cat's Cradle Basket block. And it's coming along beautifully. I think the more you do these block of the months, the easier they get, because then you figure out how to prep for it. You figure out, you know, that you're going to need diagonals, and you can get that all done at one time. It just makes it so much easier. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay this strip aside that I just completed so I can go on and get this one sewn on. Now this one does have a good bit of thickness right here, because we do have those 2 seams coming together, and that was only had 2 sections pinned on this, but this one was long enough, so I think it's safe to say it's okay to not pin this. And there's no other seams in there that I'm connecting with. It's just that one seam. Sometimes I pin, sometimes I don't. If I have seams, I like to pin. Okay, that one didn't match up straight. I'm debating on taking that one out, but it felt like it nested perfectly fine. Well, we're just going to keep on going. We are not going to worry about that. That's the one that goes across the top. So now we do the one that goes across the side. And of course, I'm going to nest down here at the bottom where the 2 seams meet. Make sure that's nested good there. Okay, I sure sewed that point right on off of there, but it looks like they're all kind of like that. Not that one, that point. But you can't really tell. So now we're getting ready to do our blue strips. It's going to go on the top and the side again. So I'm having to find, how many of these do I use? Just the one. So it's only one, I guess. So yep. What I am going to do is just get this sewed together. It looks like I sew. I'm going to go ahead and sew the 2 together. I think I'll be able to hold them up side by side and keep them figured out which one is which. Because as I said before, one is longer than the other. And I am trying to keep this pressed as I go. But I know when I get done, I am going to have to press all of these out once again, because I have them folded up in my box. And I think probably what I'm going to do is get like a skirt hanger and press them up. The shorter one is the first one we put on. It is the one we put on the top. I'm making sure I have my block positioned the correct way. Wait, no, we put this one on the side. Now what I'm doing is making our pedestal blocks. I have to stitch on the center there and then trim 1/4 of an inch away. And then what I'll have to do after that is I will have to trim this large block on the diagonal as well to make 2. So this will be our pedestal block. So now what I need to do with this is cut it in half. So I need to draw a line. I keep forgetting I have this one here, but all I have to do is cut this straight through the center. And now I have 2 pedestal units. And I have to take my other large fabric and cut it in half as well. So the first thing I am going to do is put my large triangles on the top, and this is where we have to fold and pin and all that to make sure we've got our centers good. This is how I do it. It may not be how you're supposed to do it, but this is how I do it to make sure I get my triangle on here correct. And I will actually get my center down here as well, because I want to pin that point also where it's not centered. I'm putting my centers together. Then I'm going to go down here and get my point pinned in. See, like I said, this may not be the way to do it, but it's just how I have found that I can actually center these triangles on my blocks. This is the last thing you want, is a triangle to not be centered. Trying to stay as centered as possible. I leave these pins in until I get right up on them with my needle. But I think the first time I did it, it was so bad. Oh, it was so bad. But I still think I need to do that block over. But this is definitely not a beginner block. By no means, it is not a beginner quilter block, because it's kind of difficult. I'm going to press these as I sew them on, so they just turn out better. Well, friends, this is it. This is the block 5 of Fat Quarter Shop's Sew Sampler Pieceful Baskets. I don't have it trimmed up yet. I don't have it squared up yet, but I've noticed I'm almost out of time. I've been sewing for about an hour and a half, so I'm going to close it right here. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you're doing your Pieceful baskets, it's beautiful, y'all, isn't it? I love this fabric. But leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.